Okay, great. Let's get started. Thank you everybody for joining. This is want to mention a couple of things. Thank you for joining the Casper High Tech Job Fair event. This is one of the online workshop, and we already have one online workshop last month, 2 months ago, sorry, and it was a great success. And I hope you guys learned a lot this time as well. Quick housekeeping that I want to mention that. Next, in 2 weeks, we'll have our in-person job fair event, and I wish I can see all you guys there. As you can see, we will have a lot of company will be there on site, as well as we have a couple of career development talks. We have invited Tom Zhang, PhD, to talk about how to do job hunting and networking, as well as career coaching, Ken Ree, to help us help our the attendees to grow their careers and understanding what is the best approach for career wise. And we'll have a lot of a company there, and we have listed a couple of big ones here, and we have more lists to come. Please, if you're interested in more, you can scan the QR code and go to our Casper website to find out all details. It will be in person in the one space on the First Street in San Jose. So really hope to see you guys out there on Saturday, May 20th. Another thing to mention that in our career job fair that we'll have a lot of available job openings. You know, all the way from engineer, manager, director, and all different locations. So a lot of different kind of positions will be open, and we're trying to help connect our members and the community to the company that are looking for these talent. And you know, you can see here we have a lot of different engineer position, even firmware, AI architects, algorithms. So it's not just semiconductor side. On the hardware side, we also have a lot of software side, as well as on the different track. We have engineering managers, sales, technical program, operations, account manager, HR managers. So not only for engineers. So anybody you know they're looking to interesting to learn more, they can come and chat with all those the company that we work with. Even though a lot of it, we are all engineers, there's a lot of company hiring at even higher level, at the director level. So you know, you never know, you could look into something, explore new career opportunity in the management track. And as well as the last thing will be, we will have a lot of different job location according to depending on the positions. So yeah, so hopefully we'll see you all guys there. And then to find out more, please go to our website, and you can find out all the details and get more information there. And lastly, let's get back to the main topic today. So we're honored to get Higher IO CEO Tim Lee to join us to help us understanding how to navigate career opportunity strategy for us professional engineering professional, not only semiconductor, and then everything in this AI world today. I think just coming from a little bit background that we don't really learn too much about resume in school before the AI. We don't really learn how to write a good resume in school. But since ChatGPT, everything changed. And I'm sure Tim will help us understand what is the new challenge, and how to best figure it out and understand as the world changed today, as simply applying to a job via a PDF, just writing what you have done is not really enough anymore. And to beat up the competition to get the best job and best career for you, there's a lot of little thing to watch out for, and the trend is changing. So without further ado, I'm going to pass down the speaker to, please everybody welcome our keynote speaker, Tim Lee. Thanks. So Tim, I'll share the screen.
Yeah. You all can see the screen?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Tim Lee, and I'm honored to be given the opportunity by Tony, the president of CASPA, to share my knowledge and the insights about job opportunities. So as a founder and the CEO of Hire.io, so I have had a diverse career. So spending 19 years in the US and 21 years in China. So in my career of first 7 years, I worked in payment industry and I led a team supporting over 10,000 Asian merchants in the US landscape. So later on, I returned to college to study economics and computer science at UC Berkeley. So before graduating, I found a young professional job referral network called 互助会 Career Assistant Inc., which helped young professionals navigate their career paths using my experience and expertise. I also found Hire.io, a recruiting firm, and have been able to discover opportunities and provide solutions for both the business and talents. So recently, I was invited by CASPA to speak at this career workshop, right? So actually, very beginning, when Jason was asking me about this talk in detail, I was initially planned to help everyone improve their resumes and prepare for interviews. However, a few weeks passed. OpenAI, ChatGPT came out, and it ruined over all my plan, because you all know that ChatGPT can improve resumes and help you improve your interview skills way better than a 10-year experience career consultant. So GPT, actually beat me without mercy, right? Well, I was upset about GPT took over my job and made me no topic to share. I suddenly realized that I have a secret weapon to fight against the AI invasion. So the IO formula, which is inspiring opportunity formula from Hire.io, when I apply this formula, it helped me discover AI impact as my opportunities. So I quickly changed the topic as what we want to talk today. So I will talk more about my IO formula later. So this is workshop session. So this workshop session only takes up no more than 20 slides. So make sure you follow my logic. I'll make sure I talk slowly. So talk about IO formula, right? I need to introduce you Hire.io. Hire.io is a company that specializes in analyzing economic factors, industry challenges, and job market trends, which help them identify opportunities in the ever-changing economic landscape. Our insights could prove valuable in navigating those ongoing shifts. We have successfully supported over 400 businesses in their growing journey and have inspired more than 5,000 opportunities. With a global team of over 100 dedicated consultants, our primary focus has been on supporting foreign business in building local teams, resulting in the creation of thousands of job opportunities in US local market. So our mission is to inspire opportunities and create meaningful lives through our service. Our clients from various industries, like verticals, including tech startup, large public listed company from US and China, and foreign business entering the US market from Europe, APAC. We are dedicated to implementing emerging technologies and have been at the forefront of AI talent acquisition. Believe it or not, we started hire AI talent since 2015. That was a time when AI startup boomed. I'm not sure if you remember that time. The hot money, flow into the AI startup companies. Most products from those startups back then has now been widely used in real business daily activities, right? There are a lot of papers published, right? But is not totally different from today, the generative AI such as ChatGPT impact, right? So right now, ChatGPT, I believe most of you have experience of using it, right? So HireIO, back to the company, right? So HireIO offer a comprehensive of service to cater to our clients' needs, which includes talent acquisition, workforce solutions, contract management, employer of records, recruitment process outsourcing, and emerging technology consulting. So today, I navigate you to the AI evolution. So before that, let me ask you some questions. How many have you got spam calls every day? Especially during COVID, right? How many have you received spam emails every day? I believe many of you have, LinkedIn, Facebook, WeChat, or other social media accounts. But how many of you have received messages or connection requests from fake accounts in recent years? Especially this couple of years, right? All we call 杀猪盘. Why I bring this up? Do you know there are many of phone calls was done by audio dialing tools? They can dial ton of number in the same time, right? At the same time, if you pick up the call on the other side, AI will talk to you. And it is hard to differentiate it from real person or AI voice today. When they talk to you, when you answer, it have a lot of behavior talk. Oh, my name is Tim. Okay, so sorry, interrupt you. It's just like real human talk. Right? Do you know if you accept those connection requests, once you do that from your social media account, the AI account also start a well-designed conversation with you. And those well-designed conversation will lead you to a fraud trap, right? They have a nice picture, they have a very great background, right? So you may ask me, how do I know this, right? Well, because I have been working closely with the business process outsource companies in other countries a lot. My company have branch in India, in China, in APAC. I know those technologies has been widely used before many of you. If it can use in regular business activity, it can definitely be used in gray or dark industry, like fraud, right? Why do I bring this up? Because I want to lead you to understand the movement of demand of global job market. So US white collar job is replacing by AI. I can see that many of you are also concerned about impact of AI on your jobs, especially in recent months. Otherwise, you wouldn't attend this workshop today, right? So I will share you this two chart on the screen. So right side is from the data, is the data from the federal government. So left side is the chart that is from HireIO Insight. So the right-hand chart, okay? Just yesterday, actually, we saw an update from the federal government about labor market data report. As a job agent, so I'd like to share some insight with you, like over the past few months. We've seen massive layoff in Bay Area, especially in Silicon Valley, like tech industry, internet industry, right? Close to 200,000 tech employees have lost their job due to different reasons. For example, like post-COVID effect, recession, inflation, interest rate increase, stock market performance, and large language model impact. I just heard recently, Dropbox said we are laying out 100 people, we are shifting to generative AI, right? Google have a lot of action about that. Hire, probably lay off over 10,000 people for that, right? So the right side the right side is the HireIO chart that what I'll share with you. There are blue box. You can see the blue box is what we experienced. as I mentioned about global workforce movement. So because I prepared this presentation in a short time, so I don't make it look nice, forgive me about that. But let me guide you through this, the box, right? There are several important movements in the past few years. Here's the first movement. COVID hit, right? People must stay at home, but they have to work, right? We all experience that. The challenge is SaaS, software as a service, or other remote work, IT infrastructure must fulfill the need from remote work environment, which you see during the COVID. Tech startup company was SaaS company was so booming, and the Zoom went public. There are others, Slack, all the collaborations SaaS tool has been doing very well in the market, right? Because they have to fulfill the needs and build the IT infrastructure completely to support the remote work environment. There's a movement. There's a second movement I want to mention is company changed the business process to a fully remote mode, right? There's a challenge when there's fully remote mode. There's debate in the market. It says the productivity is uncertain, right? Economic factor in here is cost is higher due to spend on SaaS tools. Communication costs higher due to time consumption, because you have usually when you do in the office probably just a couple of words, but when you are in a remote environment, you have type words, and it's hard to spend. Sometimes you book the calendar, schedule a meeting, right? Zoom, all those kind of things, right? So since there's economic factors, I believe there's opportunities. If remote work in the US, right, take place, we can also hire people in other countries because it's totally remote. So it is the same work. If it's the same result we're asking, as long as have lower cost, it's cheaper, right? So company as an employer have started to recognize the cost benefits of outsourcing repetitive tasks to lower cost countries. That is why there's a pandemic, COVID, right? You've seen there are more and more companies from offshore, you can see from in India, of course, is one of the biggest IT service industry outsource, right? APAC and Latin America, East Europe, right? So those areas have been growing so well, right? This has led to a shift in hiring practice, focusing on offshore hiring and the BPO development. BPO means business processing of business process of outsource, right? So action for business in here. From all this content I just shared with you, here's a process that will happen. US local tasks become US remote task during COVID. Then US remote task becomes offshore remote task because it's cheaper. Employer tend to, if we can do fully remote, we can hire people from offshore. They can do way cheaper, maybe 1/3, 1/5 of American cost. Right? Right? Then offshore remote tasks got hit by large language model like generative AI, ChatGPT. It's replacing those tasks as well, right? So overall, you can see the US local task is heavily being replacing by AI shortly. So with AI technology like ChatGPT, which grew over 100 million users in a very short time, a few days, I remember, right? The impact on remote work is huge, especially for repetitive tasks. So with AI technology like ChatGPT, right, which grow to over 100 million users in just a few days, right? But for example, one of my business partner in APAC, in Philippines, right? they increased their BPO team size from 100 to 400 during the COVID. They're mainly supporting US corporations. But when I recently, he visited my office, I asked him about GPT impact. He told me that 30% of their work is now done by GPT. And also their team is shrinking dramatically, right? So generative AI is for sure shaping the current job market landscape and economic during the post-COVID era in the USA right now. So before we go deeper about that, let's also review some recent data about, updates about generative AI. I know it's common, but some people are still fresh. I want to just share to everyone. So ChatGPT, created by OpenAI, excels at conversational NLP tasks like answering questions, generating text, and managing conversation. Midjourney can do the, graphics, and there are some other content create AI products can do various of content creating works, right? So OpenAI was founded in 2015 by Sam Altman, Elon Musk, or other big fingers, right? So it's aiming to push AI innovation to new heights. So GPT stable release was on January this year, 2023, built on a massive GPT-3 model with 175 billion parameters. So since ChatGPT-3 came out, over 1,000 AI startups have popped up in a couple months using GPT-based tech empower their ideas. The chart I shared to you is only a few that we know their name, we saw their brand. There are way more, keep adding this chart, right? You can Google it. So OpenAI's advancement bring both opportunity and challenges to the job market. So we need to adapt that plan strategically, for sure. So, and remember, it is crucial to stay updated and adapt to those changes. Otherwise, you might find yourself out of the job market in the next 12 months. But no need to worry. So we are not alone in our concern about AI's impact. If you attend today's workshop, that means you're taking actions, right? From this chart, you can see that research shows different opinion on AI and jobs in the US based on age groups, right? The summary I'll give you a summary about this. It's so people across all age think AI can create jobs rather than take them away. And the younger professional, like 18 to 29 age group, which is the light blue color bar, is the most hopeful about AI and jobs, right? As people get older, they become less optimistic. The age group that includes all 50 years plus old professionals or citizens are the least optimistic about AI's impact. So make it simple, right? Speak in English. So the younger folks in the US are more positive about AI's effect on job, when older people tend to worry more about job loss due to AI advancement. What is that, right? It is not fair to say so, but I have to say this way. It is because younger folks tend to learn new things and pick up quicker. And the concern is correct, actually, because employers also have some opinion about it too. Like me, I'm the employer. I have over 100 employees all around the world, right? So recent research shows that over 1/3 of US business leaders, including myself, think generative AI, ChatGPT, will for sure lead to more layoffs by the end of 2023. Around 36 million Americans are in job risks by automation or AI technology. So here's the deal. Using of ChatGPT instead of people is cost effective for business. We will talk more about the OpenAI, what OpenAI to say. Here's the thing. So this is a data sheet from OpenAI, recent report, right? If you look at it, the link, you check this, they have this report. And this is a sheet I took from there. So the higher wage jobs or white collar jobs tend to have more exposure to a large language model. If you see the left chart, the exposure, let's make it easier to understand the chart, right? The exposure rate on the left side, you can see there's 176, 75, right? Simply think about it this way. The exposure rate is simply like a possibility of replacing by AI. I don't want to make it too complex. The article is very complex, but so left chart shows you that white collar jobs has higher exposure rate, especially those jobs like math experts, accountants, new analysts, reporters, content writer, web UI designer, right? Tax preparer, financial analyst, those jobs, right? But blue collar workforce demand has least impact by generative AI like GPT. On the right chart, the arrow pointed to, that's occupation without any exposure tax. What are those? If you look through this job, they're all blue collar job. Business essential, people interface, right? Handiworks, right? So remember, I just showed you before the chart, there's most updated federal labor data I show you, right? So the blue collar unemployment ratio is again hit the historical low in America, in the USA, right? So blue collar has higher demand now, and the white collar job demand has decreased so badly. So we can, from the previous data, we can give a conclusion in this way. Most disappeared job count in the US during COVID will be disappeared forever. First, we outsource, right? Then AI can replace because it can be done by template, right? If it's tech support, customer service, a lot of times will probably be replaced by AI. So I'm very excited to share with you a framework that has been my secret weapon in the recruitment business world. Well, I know it is not a perfect tool for everyone, but it's been good enough for most of us to discover amazing job opportunity here, right? So this framework has not only helped me and my team secure our jobs, right? But also help ton of clients and candidates. So think of it as a trusted compass, right? Navigator that guides you through the mist and turn off the job market, right? And turns off the job market. So no matter what challenges come our way. So whether it's AI, globalization, COVID, or other disruptions, recently, this framework has helped me make reasonable, correct decisions for my business as a recruiting agency for me, right? Because I always look at where it's growing. to get more business, right? And now, so today I'm here, I'm more than happy to share my journey and insight with all of you but just remember here, while these frameworks can guide you in the direction of career opportunities, the execution is still the king, right? So you need to have execution. So let's buckle up and get ready to discover your next career, right? So the IO framework here is movement plus challenges times economic factors equals opportunity. I'm pretty sure we still need to improve and add more variables in here, but I think this is good enough for you to look at it. Keep in mind this equation or formula here, right? Let's go deeper. So given my IO formula, let's examine some historical trend in the semiconductor industry by using some of McKinsey research data. So the chart explained that cost of chip design and fab construction have increased in the exponential way when the chip becomes become more complex, right? So here's a challenge I want to point out. Over the years, there's been a very steep increase in chip design and fab cost. But who pays for that? Right? Corporate. But there are also movement, right? The complexity of chips has grown significantly, right? We can find out there's an economic factor mentioned about cost. So the cost of chip design and the manufacturing is increasing, right? So that's economic factor as well. So from here, we can discover the opportunity. So with the potential of lower design and fab cost, AI technology opens up new job opportunity for those skilled in AI and the related field. So this McKinsey report also shows that in the mid and long run, all vertical of semiconductors will have cost reduction, especially research and chip design verticals. Manufacturing has biggest cost reduction in terms of value. If you look at it, long term, which is darker one, long-term potential is, and those is by billion, right? Will reduce 38 billion US dollar, right? So there will be as I mentioned, the movement is projected to generate consistent multi-billion-dollar saving across all semiconductor vertical in the mid and long run, right? There's also economic factor. Chip design stands to experience the most significant relative cost reduction, with saving of announced around about 28 to 32%. You can see right here, right? So this is about in R&D, right? Research and development, chip design and research. So opportunity in here is R&D jobs that involve AI-related skill will be essential for chip design in the mid and long run. So business action in here. So companies should invest in AI talent across all verticals. Capital allocation, research, chip design, manufacturing, procurement, sales and operation, right? And the other part. So but for talent, for young professional or industry professionals, we must work on enhancing our skill set from now on. So here's another chart from McKinsey. So this is about revenue aspect, right? We just talk about cost, right? So challenge one, there are several challenges here I want to mention. The challenge one, keeping up with rapidly evolving AI technology and meeting the increasing market demand. That's one challenge. The second challenge here, you will see the mid and long term, there's big impact growth, big impact on AI implementation that will generate $85 to $95 billion for the industry, because AI computing power demand is increasing badly. And the semiconductor industry is the foundation of infrastructure of AI computing, right? And the second challenge is ensuring the workforce is skilled and trained in AI technology to capitalize on the potential revenue growth. The third challenge I want to mention is adapting to changing market dynamics and navigating competition in the AI-driven semiconductor industry. The first challenge, the balancing investment in AI research and development with the need to maintain profitability and meet revenue target for business, right? Why I talk about business now, talk about the job seeker, right? But you gotta have to understand the business movement first, challenge first. Then you are the person who will take opportunity to solve the problem for the company. That's your career opportunity, right? So the movement here is the growing demand for AI technology in the market is driving increased revenue in both short and long run, revealing great potential. So the economic factor is very obvious, as I said, it can generate up to 95 billion in revenue for industry. Obvious opportunity I mentioned. Higher revenue will generate more job opportunities, right? Okay, so now let's discuss the company in the implementing AI and creating Center of Excellence, which is called COE, right? Here you can see the movement. So basically, these are 6 enablers, right? When company implementing AI technology at scale, the 6 enablers are critical for successful, right? So the movement here is company want to successfully implement AI are establishing the COEs, right? Center of Excellence. There's a challenge. So 6 major enablers are crucial for successful implementation of AI at scale in the industry. The economic factor is the cost of implementation of AI has increased due to these 6 enablers, because these are factors that might slow down or block if you didn't do it well, right? So you have to pay attention to the 6 enablers, which is strategic roadmap, talent and organization setup, technology, data, adoption and scaling, LG delivery, right? HL delivery, sorry about that. So the opportunity here, we can see that there are a ton of job opportunities are rising in this area. Let's give an example, right? Like when you're adapting AI, you probably need to add a data science expert in local team, in your specific vertical or technology verticals. But this data science person might do different works. For instance, it might just helping you establish rigid data governance model, right? But here we go. That's one of the possibility of a career job opportunity. So I don't like to give you very specific, like this is the job you want to take, right? The markets change. It depends on company how they define the job. What I give to you is the method, how you look into the challenges. And as long as there's challenge and movement, there will be opportunity. So many success companies, like right now, they are creating center of excellence and dedicated to AI and machine learning technology. So they're responsible for bringing in new talent, setting standards, and sharing best practice. So some major semiconductor company is already invested in AI COEs with hundreds of engineers. So when hiring technical staff, this company need to find the right mix of roles, right? They may require data scientists and data engineers for pilot projects, but also the machine learning engineers, infrastructure architect, or full stack developer for scaling up, right? So typically, semiconductor companies don't have those professionals in-house. So they will need to search externally for talent. They need to hire from different industry, right? Or if you already upskilled yourself, you probably are the best person for the company internal transfer, right? Let's move to the job content impact, right? So how AI will impact the job content, right? I collect this data. We made this pie chart for you to, as a framework for you to study, and also for you to work on your current job. In general, job content can be divided into these 7 major blocks. You can see, which is creative and decision-making, professional skills, communications, unpredictable or unexpected tasks, data collections, data process, repeatable tasks. This is a very general way to categorize this job content, your daily job contents. The percentage might be different from person to person, from role to role, but this is the basic pie chart we use. It can totally apply to your framework, current work, right? For instance, the role of a talent acquisition professional job in a semiconductor company, right? The pie chart on the left side, it shows you how your current daily work occupied, the weight, a percentage, the time you consume, right, in daily. For talent acquisition person, maybe the time I spent on searching the talent, process the talent profile, interview, right, and ask professional question, and giving the right ideas, and then make decision of move forward as candidate or not, or some other internal meetings, understand the internal hiring purposes, right? And there are occasions some candidates are you pop out some great candidate, or some candidate get a complaint about the interview feedbacks. There's unpredictable tasks, right? Right. So for a talent acquisition position in a recruiter position in a semiconductor company, if it comes to today as AI, generative AI or ChatGPT, it can totally help you a lot, right? So basically, on the right side shows how the data time is allocated across various tasks right now. Apparently, repeatable task, data process, data collections, and a big portion of professional skill and communication will become only 10% of using AI times. Because AI can do all this work for you. Right, you know that because when you write an email, you can write way better email than you. When you write a plan, it gives you more angle to explain. do research, it can quickly give you an answer, right? It could be faster too. Don't pretend like your boss doesn't know. They also use it, probably, right? So, but by shrinking this whole over 50% of the pie chart daily works to be a 10% of the time daily, right? So you have a plenty of time in the daily time, your daily work to do more things on creative and decision making, study and research, which is great. You can learn more, explore more, right? And you need to spend more time on internal communication and collaboration. And then you have time to deal with more critical works. Right. So basically, if your daily work, use this formula for your job type, as a workshop, you can practice later to analyze the percentage of your current job that can be replaced by AI tools. Here's what we do. We break down every single job task to daily job tasks to very detailed knots. Every knot we will consider is it can be replaced by AI or can be done by AI. And we will analyze the entire work knots. Probably a single job can have hundreds of tasks. You can list them off. Then from here, you can understand that how soon you can be replaced by AI, or how many jobs content that can be replaced by AI. If it's over 30%, you should consider enhancing your skill in other areas to remain competitive in the job market, right? So the AIGC impact or generative AI impact into your work, from 7 blocks become 5, daily work, right? We call it job content evolution. Right. Your skill set is shift from get tasks done to solve the problem. So you are about to solve the problem. Okay. When your boss gives you tasks, objective, you need to understand how to tell the AI to do the work and guide the AI to complete the task for you. Very beginning, you might be slower, but when you get used to it, it just get the answer for you, right? So right now, you know that there's a new job type called prompt engineering, right? I see that online, their salary is about 350K base. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's pretty high base salary, right? So in the next few months, you may see the change of JD, change of job description and job title in your industry as well. Perhaps chip design engineer becomes, who knows, like prompt design engineer, prompt chip design engineer, who knows, right? There will be change. Let's see, sometimes a company needs 3 people to complete this work, but later on probably shrink to 1 because 1 people can do 3 people's work, right? So the job count may shrink, but job content productivity is increased per individual. So in the next slide, I will highlight the skill set that you should focus on to develop and excel during the large language model era, right? So let me break down this. It's also McKinsey's findings on the soft skill category. Okay. This is essential for your future job success, I think. There are 4 categories, right? The first one is cognitive, right? The second one is interpersonal. The third one is self-leadership and the digital. When automation will affect physical mental tasks, right? But social and emotional skill will become increasingly valuable. So basic cognitive skill will still be important, but higher cognitive skill like problem solving will be critical. right? So to stay competitive in the job market, you need a combination of technical and social emotional skill with soft skills, such as AI expertise and effective communications, right? Relationship building. It is essential to develop basic cognitive skills and enhance your higher cognitive and social emotional skill through the education and experience. So employer can support this by offering training opportunities and fostering a learning focused culture by adapting and cultivating those skills. So both individuals, and the company will be better prepared for success in the training job market. If you are senior level or management level professional, you may already possess many of the skills, as I mentioned, the soft skills, right? However, it's important to understand that, especially for young professionals, you need to change your mindset, and you're not only focus on improve your technical skills as a young professional, but also you need to spend your time to improve your soft skill a lot. As a Chinese, I know they're in the US market, especially the tech market, Chinese young professionals tend to improve their technical skill first, get a job first, right? But however, with the technology improve and the environment change, there's AI evolution's impact. I think both skills need to be improved at the same time. This will help you adapt to change in the job market and stay ahead of the game. We just talk about the skill set and the job content shifting, right? And the industry-wise impact in cost, revenue, all those charts, right? So we did actually done the research and the job analysis for over 100 jobs across 17 functions of semiconductor industry. I don't think we have good enough time to explain or go to detail one by one to go over with the individual, right? But we can discuss, probably pick 3 of them to as example. Use the similar method as pie chart I showed you before, which is this one, right? Let's see, chip design and manufacturing, right? So I believe that generative AI can help chip design engineering to create better design and take care of repetitive tasks. It can also give process engineering, like process engineering, real-time information for adjustment, leading to increased manufacturing efficiency and reduced waste. For job in this industry, I know semiconductor is quite a large industry. It has so many different work functions, also like sales and customer service, this kind of roles, right? This kind of role, GPT or generative AI can make the job easier for technical sales engineering, offer faster and accurate product and service information. It will dramatically shrink your training time period. Sometimes you don't even need a training. You only need to have a higher EQ can better deal with client, or right? Because all the solution and the conversational solution can be done by AI technology, and you can quickly discover by asking random question. It will pop out the answer right away for you. And they're all accurate and it's been trained, integrated into your company chatbot or AI system, Wikipedia system, right? So it can also help with every questions for technical support engineering. For troubleshooting common problem will be a lot easier and then improve customer service experience, right? So for the supply chain management, right? AIGC or GPT can help supply chain manager keep an eye on demand, right? It will help you monitoring those and finding the bottlenecks or issue in the supply chain, right? And it can make help you make smart decisions about logistics. So this results in improved efficiency and lower the cost and better resource management for you. So to stay competitive in the job market, it's very important to break down your job content and think about how you can adapt AIGC technology to improve your productivity. So you can either embrace the change or risk falling behind. So which way do we want to do? So because of AI impact on jobs, right? More than 120 million workers in the worldwide will need retraining and upskilling in the next 3 years. AI and machine learning have totally changed the game in the semiconductor industry, making things like manufacturing, product quality, and supply chain, as I mentioned, stuff way better, right? This means there are new job openings for data engineering, developer who knows about semiconductor and AI technology. So I always believe that AI plus expert can make things, can build an amusing result, right? So you gotta be expert in the industry and knowing how to use AI tools. So if you want to succeed in this field, you gotta focus on learning AI or machine learning related stuff and get some experience in the semiconductor industry. So keep up the latest trend and what's happening with new technologies. So be ready to deal with the changes and the challenges in that AI brings, like managing and setting up infrastructure, like data center and cloud systems, right? When the company build up the center of excellence, and you will be ready for move into the helping the company solve the problem movement, right? So all in all, AI in the semiconductor industry is creating new opportunity and changing how things work. If you are ready to learn and adapt, you will be a great position to succeed in this growing field, right? So we made 7 major categories from semiconductor industry as well. This is from category-wise in company aspect, which is might be the company you are already working in or you are planning to apply for the job, right? So we categorize the 7 major verticals, and there are all this in the arrow. Those are company top players and are benefit from AI computing booming recently. So here's a fact: companies are capitalizing on the AI and generative AI booms are actually actively seeking talent in 2 primary areas. The first area is a 2-layer. I think that okay. So the first layer is growing their workforce to ramp up productions right now because computing power needed. So you can see some company stock has already increased very well. Company like NVIDIA, right? So their AI chip is selling pretty good, but then you increase the production. They are also, some important department, they're also scaling up and hiring people. So hiring AI experts. The second layer I want to mention is like the company will hire AI expert to streamline operation and boost efficiency, which is company internal efficiency improvement. This movement that need AI knowledge person experts to deal with. So one is production line, increase the sales, right? Increase the market, demand increase, hire more people to work. Another part is also operational working efficiency improvement part. Because right now, generative AI like GPT or a large language model just happened recently in recent months. And there are other large language models also came out. And the corporate need a little time to digest and see how they can benefit the corporate and build up, help them improve their central excellence system, right? So as a result, so this is also from another angle to reflect opportunity change. Ton of job opportunity are available for professional in both production and AI related field. So you better get ready to that. So basically overall, the outlook for job seeker in the semiconductor industry is positive. The very beginning, talking about concern, I also give you two of how you categorize your work content and the pie chart, how you shift your skill set, and also give you a suggestion of what part of skill set and detail to improve. And give you a direction of, you know, what other job type will be impacted by AI, what you need to improve, you need to get ready. And also give you a suggestion about what other companies are increasing their, due to the, you know, AI high demand, right? So in the short and long run, AI direction, AI is helping semiconductor industry booming. So here's what you can to stay competitive and make the most of those opportunities, right? I list them out. So you're gonna learn about, spend a little more time on generative AI and their application, how they could impact your role. You have to understand this. And then you need to embrace change, right? Open-minded. I heard some professionals, they always said, okay, well, it's just AI, it can't replace people. No. Well, maybe you need to use the way I shared to you the formula to do analysis first. And you need to be open to adapting new technology, right? That improve the efficiency, especially your English as a second language, when you're writing the contents, technical writings, all those things, maybe GPT can really help you to improve a lot, right? Way faster. And you need to concentrate on tasks requiring human expertise, right? Such as like creativity, strategy, and the complex problem solving, and the communications, internal, especially people interface, right? That cannot be replaced. Right. You also need to stay up to date with industry news and advancement in AI and generative AI and large language model technologies. But every day they come different news. Every day there's new thing try to disrupt the GPT, OpenAI things. Right now people start talking about open source, and there's some language models open source, right? People have a lot of concern, no worries. But you have to stay focused and know that knowing this change and what can utilize your skills, because you can't keep chasing the change, but you have to discover what are not changing, which is the demand or the problem need to be solved, right? Of course, you need to network and collaborate with professionals and experts in the generative AI space, right? You need to partner with those recruiters, company like us, RIO, recruiting agency or recruiters who have a comprehensive view of industry job opportunities, who has been working with some different companies in the industry, different vertical layer of industry. When you talk to them, you will learn a lot, I'm sure. Okay, that's why IO means inspiring opportunities, right? Of course, you need to take some courses if you need. I heard there's Andrew, he just had OpenAI course like ChatGPT prompt engineering courses. It won't cost much. It won't spend too much time for you to learn, I would believe. If you are engineering side, even though you're not engineering side, you can do it. Even though at my company, we are also recently hired business analysts and interns are all need to have knowledge and experience of using ChatGPT or those kind of tools. Our job description also improved due to that. And also our job content requirement also changed. People have only know the traditional way of work cannot satisfy our need, right? So remain informed, adaptable, and continue to develop your new skills as AI GCN tools continue to evolve, right? The last one I want to suggest you is utilize the IO formula to analyze your current role. Identify area where those AI could replace tasks, right? The pie chart showed you. And focus on development skills like that less likely to be automated. When the automation happens, you should be happy about it. Okay. Because you know that some of your value cannot be replaced. Okay. So for business startup in the field, you need to consider create a center of excellence and to drive innovation and foster a culture to learn and development. That's for sure. So the IO formula is not just useful for discovering new job opportunity, right? The very beginning, the equation I shared to you, that's the tool for you to finding the direction. And as long as there's challenge, there's opportunity, and including economic factors in there. There should be a job opportunity created from that area. That's how a recruiting agency like us to get into different, every time the world change, economy environment change, we are still doing very well. And we have growing very well because we capture those growing areas. As long as we capture those areas, we know that area is growing. That means there's job opportunities there, right? So you should go after that. Because we are a job agent, right? We're a recruiting agency. Okay, so by applying the AI formula, you can assess the potential the potential impact of AI on your job and industry. If you find a significant portion of your job can be automated by AI, you should use the formula to explore alternative career paths, leverage your unique skill and interest. I think passion is also important, right? So overall, the IO formula can guide you to fulfill your career path, align with your personal and professional goals, while also helping you adapting the changing job market. Thank you so much, guys. Now I'd like to take a moment to exchange the thoughts and answer your questions. Also remember, if you're willing to discuss more, welcome to screenshot this page, or you can scan the barcode. So Hire IO team is more than happy to work with all of you to discover your career journey in the AI era. And also, we will be attending the job fair as well. We also release some job opportunity for semiconductor industry workers, but also we have a ton of other work functions, open jobs. Welcome to visit our booths as well. Thank you.
Thanks, Tim. I got a couple questions from the chat. According to the recent news, Samsung has decided to restrict its employee from accessing AI services such as ChatGPT, Google Bar. Did this decision come after the discovery that a worker had uploaded sensitive data and codes to these tools? So is it likely that other companies share similar concern, and what is your opinion about this development and incident?
I totally believe the company is something they also have keep eye on AI, generative AI, those kind of modeling. They also start working on how to improve their internal work to help them to adapt their AI technology. I think every company start working on this right now, as far as I know. So that when the company asks you not to disclose your data because OpenAI is kind of cannot use for, yes, there are a lot of companies tell the employee not to use AI like OpenAI product, because company in the future pretty soon they will develop their own. But what I can say is that I'm not encouraging you to use it for your work, like confidential information for a company, right? But you still can use for in different way, right? Just like I had a meeting with a prior Stanford professor who actually right now is CEO, co-founder of a startup company. What he told me is a very interesting way is that he said that right now OpenAI or ChatGPT came out. A lot of schools said, student, you cannot use GPT to write your homeworks, right? Or some school already have a tool to detect whether it's written by OpenAI. But will it stop you to use that? Is that really stop the student to use it? The professor told me, the prior professor, he told me that it is stupid that you block them to utilize the most effective tool. So I totally believe there's a opportunity for those organizations also quickly adapting those technologies by acquiring the correct large language model or tools, right? So keep an eye on your company status, and I believe company will eventually get involved into very deeply. I hope I answer your question.
Thank you, Tim. The next question we have is, how do you think of the increased use of AI tool in design will impact the role of designer, particularly in terms of like required skills that's involves the creative process as AI's kind of growing toward that direction?
Oh, can you please repeat?
Yes. So how do you think of the increase of use AI tool in design will impact the role of a designer? Especially that it's getting into not only automation, and AI is getting into the creative process in terms of design. So how do you think that AI will impact it? So for example, I believe NVIDIA just announced something related to the AI semiconductor process design tool. So what do you think that how much that will impact
The work, the job, right? The designer job.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that's very interesting topic. Actually, even though there are design tools can quickly, way faster, 10, 100 times faster than a designer, the current traditional design worker, right? I still believe that with your expertise, let's say you're very experienced and you got innovative idea about doing design for your work. So you know very well about your industry knowledge. Let's see, semiconductor chip design, right? You have this kind of knowledge. You've been trained in this field. Even though there's a new tool for you, it's helping you to increase your efficiency. Is actually you can operate and do better, right? So I don't think there will be 100% replacement, but there will be highly exposure rate that many of people that maybe 10 design job will shrink to 1. That's what I can see in the market right now. So still need people to operate and still need people to make decision to pick the right design result from the design tool, right? But get ready to that. So you have your expertise. I think the most people get impacted by this part is young professional who are new grads that does not have experience like the senior or more senior professionals who have very strong domain knowledge. Again, my understanding of this is still AI plus experts. That's the future. Not 100% AI.
I see. And how do you, is there any advice you could give to especially the new grads or a younger professional entry who started their career, how to, at a very high level, stand out and improve their opportunities?
Yeah, as I said in the earlier chart about skill set improvement, right? So as a young professional, you need to study well about your technical skills, but also, those soft skills is definitely something you want to work on more. As I mentioned, especially for Asian, Chinese professionals, that from my experience, I've been dealing with a lot before. People first thing first always think about, I need to learn this technical skill. People are more interested in getting involved into the training course, a session with technical skill trainings instead of soft skills. So that part, I'm sure you need to spend more time on that to improve your soft skills. And that's the area that can never be replaced by AI. As long as you have a good interpersonal skill, networking skill, I'm sure there will be opportunity for you to get involved into, especially American job. Many of our American jobs are referred hired, right? So that part, I definitely need encourage young professionals to work on it. With the AI, generative AI tools, I think you should also spend more time on that to learn and to understand its method, the way how you operate a prompt, get a result you want. And because it's a new era and things change every day, but tools coming out every day. Thousands of tools in the market about AI based on large language model. You need to pick several tools to start to learn, to understand how it can impact your homework, assignment, your future works, right? When the time comes, as long as you have more experience of quickly adapt that, I totally believe that in the future, employer will be very welcome to hire the people like you, including my company ourselves. Right now, when we're doing interviews, we also look at people who whether have experience about using those technologies.
Great, thank you. I think now we'll open to anybody who want to speak up or ask a question for Tim. I'm not sure if they can unmute themselves at this moment, Jason.
Okay, yeah, we can unmute all, then they can ask a question.
Sure. Yes, the recording of this will be made available. I believe Jason's you mentioned that they will be posted on YouTube and on the Casper website.
And I have a question.
Please go ahead.
Yeah, I'm from New York. I work in New York City College, City University. And this AI, just, the person before raised the question, Samsung prohibited their worker to use ChatGPT, just uploading their data. So I think this rule applies to almost every institution. If they have something, particular company, if they have their business secret they don't want to release. So will that be a trend? Every institution actually has to develop their own some sort of generative AI tool to handle their own data, or they can use something developed by bigger companies such as Google, but they will have some sort of restriction. The data cannot be uploaded to Google, has to be restricted in their own institution. I mean, some regulation will come up, would it be?
Yeah, I think Tim, you're still muted, so you might want to unmute yourself first.
I thought I unmuted already.
Oh no, Tim, for Tim.
Okay.
Yeah, so great. I liked your questions. So as I share in this chart, there will, organization is actually taking action. They all know that GPT can make him, like large language model or AI system, centralized system can help the company do way better and save, like in terms of revenue growth, cost deductions, right? Solving the challenge problem cost. Those are billions of dollars in there. I'm not, as a business owner, I know if I'm decision maker, I would definitely spend money to invest and build our stuff. But whether it's based on large language model or our own database about using AI technology, it depends on company, right? But I'm sure company number one is, protect their property, IP property, right? IP, right? Number two is also, especially semiconductor industry, right? Number two is company definitely will invest and build their own AI system, what we call center of excellence, right? Hire the right people to do that. Depends on company. Each company have their own strategy to specific their challenge in terms of working efficiency, cost increasing, all those kind of things. I think that's a trend. Most of the company will take action on that.
Well, another thing is like China, where they allowed Microsoft Chinese office use Microsoft that Office 306, because if you allow them to use, that means that China, all the data are going to go to Microsoft.
Yes. What I heard from one of the leader industry VC leader, that what he said, every country in the future probably will have their closed looped large language model instead of global-wide sharing with one model. So that means that China will have their own language model, and US have their own large language model in the future, because obviously you mentioned big companies start to worry about their data leaks or data security, right? So the same thing applies to the corporate, different vertical. They have their, privacy of the data. Company for sure will take action, and there will be, as long as this is a challenge, right? As movement, there will be job opportunity like data security, right? Such as AI data security, AI modeling builder. Those kind of roles will be generated.
Thank you.
Thanks. I think Kenneth, you had typed out a question. Do you want to ask directly?
Sure. Yeah, Tim, I'm impressed by the first of all, I appreciate your presentation, very, very thought-provoking. But I'm impressed by the skills that you say need to be focused on in the AI era: cognitive, interpersonal, self-leadership, and digital. And over the last, as we look at education in the U.S. in particular, over the last 40 years or so, there's been a tremendous emphasis on engineering, science, Bachelor of Science degrees, and so forth. But these skills that you're talking about, we may see a rebirth or a new interest in the liberal arts. We may see a new emphasis on being a well-balanced person rather than just a techie. What do you think?
This is a very interesting topic about future education. As right now, a lot of people use GPT to study and learn for, help them improve their skill set. I think the new era new generation have their way to grow, right? Grow up. So I agree that there will be bring up a different balance, but that topic goes to the education experts and the society study experts. But that direction that you bring up is something I agree. I believe that the future will be more soft skill or creativity work, training or education. The thing's about to change, and it's been changing. It also depends on the economic demand, right? When we look at movement, economic factors that when the company start to think about what kind of people they are really looking for, if this person have very good technique about asking good question and knowing identify the issue and solve the problem with a creative thinking skill, then by using large language model to do that, right? So that might now need a person who have very strong in those courses that you mentioned very beginning. So it might be different education path or different education block if content need to be provided. That as job market change, employers start hire different direction of people, the education will follow. I'm pretty sure, right? That's because the economic factor changed.
Thank you.
Yep.
Great, thank you. Go ahead.
Oh, hi, yeah, this is James here, James Wong. I have a quick questions about the some new jobs that you're mentioning that might be increasing, right? Are you also foreseeing any like actually like brand new job that might be come up because of this kind of AI, like kind of AI specialists like, or prompt engineering, like that kind of like open up a new opportunities?
Yes, I totally believe there will be new opportunity generate, just like prompt engineering, it's just pop up. And the job title and job description need to be rewrite and improved, because the skill sets differently. Just like the question we asked this previous person, the skill set has changed, right? This requirement from business focus is different. So that I believe developing soft skill, network skill it's important, right? So company have different focus on different job roles. For instance, like recruiting firms, for many recruiting jobs, that 80% of work, talent sourcing part can be replaced by AI or automation. So if that's the case, what exactly recruiting firm focus on? Were you looking for people who have way better EQ to communicate and build a trustworthy relationship with client, with the candidates, right? So the focus is different, right? Or you're looking for people who can sit there to do talent sourcing, browsing data every day, to look at resume, 1,000 resume every day. That's different job content. So I believe that, but right now the market the movement is happening and the market is shifting, job market is shifting, and it's not been finalized. There's still a lot of new things came out. I can't give the final conclusion about this is the job gonna happen. This is a job gonna be in the market for sure, right? But I know that you have to prepare for this by learning different skill set, by improving yourself to adapt this new era.
Right, appreciate that. I have follow-up questions quickly, so since there'll be job title change, and there's some kind of job we're seeing could be potentially replaced by AI, from, I think, for the set of these kind of this webinar more focused on engineering. So I wonder, in terms of the salary wise, would that be impacted as well, since sounds like their portion of job will be replaced by AI, the demanding may be less in general for some engineering. So would that mean the more less demanding for this kind of job could be impacting on in terms of compensation, salary will be lowering?
I'm not sure I get all your questions, but are you talking about will this make an impact on the job salary?
Yes, for some of the
because
sectors
skill set change, right?
yes, like engineering, for
Okay.
example, some
Yeah.
of them will be replaced by AI. Instead of 10 people, they might need only 2-3 people, right? So they potentially
Yeah.
might be
Yeah.
competitive.
Yeah. So
They can reduce the salary.
yeah, this actually you also can bring another interesting topic about quiet hiring. I'm not sure you heard this term. Quiet hiring is, you can say, phrase as silent hiring. So basically, a lot of company, there's another word called quiet quitting, right? So in the company, actually, when they do quiet hiring, that means you are, let's say you are working on chip design, you will be transferred to the other department doing different tasks with different salary offer. Okay, this actually already take place during COVID. Okay, it's actually become a topic in the job market during COVID, right? So it's not surprise me that with the new technology change, there will be a job content change relative to the salary. But with the new skill you carry, right? With the new skills, your skill set, soft skill and technical skill you carry. So I believe that your value will be increased because your productivity increased. Before, company hire 5 people to make this work. And right now, company only hire you to make 5 people's work, perhaps, right? So the value increase a lot. And you do have a negotiating power to negotiate with the employer because you have that skill set, make it 5 times productivity, right? So job market is about the value you deliver, right? So it probably have back and forth negotiation in different stage, but when time goes, I think eventually the market will give a fair price to the right talent.
Thank you, Tim.
Can I have
Just
one
last few
question?
more.
One more question. You just mentioned that take some ChatGPT, this kind of course. Could you give one example? What kind of course? What this kind of course can offer? You are not asking people to develop learn the skill to develop a language model. I think it's how to use generative AI. Is that right?
Yeah, I've seen I've seen most of people are still on the surface of using generative AI, just like this presentation I prepared. Actually, first I created this presentation by GPT. Then I realized it only can do 20% of what I want to do. Right. So because I don't have strong knowledge about, because let's see, this large language model, ChatGPT, all these tools can only have unlimited power, and when you have very strong techniques to use it, right? People can use it, create a game instantly, but some people cannot, right? It's just like what I'm suggesting you guys is, let's start open our eye to start to see what can this tool help you improve your work, and from there you can get better conclusion about how it can help you to change your career. Right. So the course, what I suggest you, actually, there's a ton of, right? But I've seen that Andrew, he recently have a new course take place on Coursera somewhere. I'm not sure where exactly, but that one from experts probably is one of the good ones. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, guys, thanks, guys. Quick time check. We're 5 minutes past, but I know there's a lot of good question coming in, and I want to just take one more question, couple more questions before we have to close this topic, close today's sessions. One question from the chat is I understand there's importance of developing soft skills and networking, but seems like the current applicant tracking system puts more weight on the technical skills than soft skills. Like on that when you put on your resume. Could you clarify how exactly this soft skill can make you stand apart, especially the resume goes into this tracking system, and it doesn't really shine on top of you typically compared to the technical skills.
Again, as I mentioned very beginning of this presentation, I was trying to give you a session about how we can help you improve your resume, how we can help you improve your interview skills. But actually, when you put the job description, I want to give more information about the recruitment. Okay, so when you number one, you can do this way. Talk to the related person that in the hiring company, hiring team to learn, ask good question to learn about the hiring, why they are hiring these roles, right? What kind of job they are, why, is this replacement, is this expanding or what, right? And what's the report line look like? Who is working with this role, right? Who is collaborating with this role? There's so many story behind the job description itself, correct? Right? So you gotta have to find out this information by asking good questions to recruiter, to the people who have associated with these jobs, and to discover more things. Once you discover those things, you carry those notes and keywords and put in ChatGPT and put the JD into there and tell them, help me improve my resume. See what happened, right? Right. See, this is the way how I learned recently. I realized, oh, I don't need to give this session about how I can help you improve your resume to help you pop out from ATS system, right? What I mentioned about soft skill improvement it's for long-term purposes. And it depends on the market. Right now, may not take place on the job description written that you need to have strong soft skill, people skills, stuff like that. But perhaps in the near future, including your technical expertise in the industry vertical, but also the job description will tell you more about the soft skill requirements, right? It depends on market needs.
Great answer. Thank you. One more last question. Anybody who want to ask? I think open for the last question.
Well, I want to make a comment and a question at the same time. So about the switch to remote work and AI, right? What I've seen in my workplace is that it's really hard to get people to come back into the office, especially engineering. Yet when we're in the office, we're way more productive. We're way more creative because of the interactions that we can have. Mm-hmm. So the thing is that, in a way, I think we should be concerned if this remote work thing works too well, because then the people running in finance, they would say, well, why don't we just hire people in Austin or Oklahoma or India or somewhere if they can do remote work just as well? And now we have this new challenge, right, with AI. So I think we in Silicon Valley needs to figure out a way to really up the game in order to justify the high cost that we charge, the high labor costs, right? This high salary that we charge to the employers. And that sort of is what I'm seeing. I'm curious to hear about your perspective in this matter.
You bring up two layer of topics, right? The one aspect is remote work remote productivity concerned from, right? So that bring up, okay, also a lot of topic regarding integrity, people's time spent as they really working on the work, make a high productivity. But if some work can be fully remote and replaced by offshore again, so it can be done by AI. If it's repeatable, can be done by template, can be trained in the large language model, right? That part that if it's trained, a machine and automation can do it, there's no concern about integrity. Agree? Right? So that part I think is important. But another part is about Silicon Valley, income level, and as you see, the inflation is also double the meal price, breakfast price, lunch price in the last 2 years, 2 or 3 years, right? So that's but our salary actually didn't increase as much as our lunch price increased, the portion, correct? So there's so many economic factors into this because inflation, the interest rate, economic recession, right? But what I can see that layoff has been massively happened already in the Silicon Valley. It is also educating the organization and the individual professional to be more reasonable, consider their the income level and the expenses in the market, and how they can allocate how they can deal with the challenge of this change. But right now, because the market, everything's fluctuating, so I don't have a conclusion very clearly about what exactly we can deal with remote work people towarding this attitude, or either salary increase the difference. It depends on employer. If they think about ROI, return on investment is high, they can do it. If they think return on investment is too low, they will definitely start lay off people. They'll definitely start to finding some replacements from different places. But I believe people in Silicon Valley are pretty smart because we are from all around the world. We, can solve a lot of problems that, very difficult, complex problems. The value here is still very high, right? So I think the market eventually will give the fair price to individuals. Semiconductor industry so far I can see is still okay, but in internet industry the salary has been increased very crazily in the past few years, especially during COVID, and because I've been helping so many internet companies hire people. But you see that internet company has been laid off a lot of people recently, right? So that's a combination of decision from company from different angles. I would say it's not one simple answer, that one simple reason from company to make such a decision. Right? So I think you bring up very, very interesting topic into this. We can further discuss this. We are also studying more about this topic.
Great.
Thank you.
Thanks everyone for joining, and I especially really thanks for Tim to share his expert experience and everything. And before we close this out, I just want to remind everybody that we still have the in-person Tech High Tech Job Fair event next week, May 20th from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. And I'm sure you guys also have more questions, and I believe Tim will be there, so you can find him and ask him asking all those questions and have a great discussion in person, and utilize our CastBot job fair events. And again, thanks for everybody for joining, and I hope you guys have the rest of a good weekend. Thank you, everybody.